It's Arknolia and the Doctor. This is episode, what is it,
30,
133? 33?
33. Yeah.
Yes, of our music memory series. And our discussion on the 1960s rock scene with all the bands and all the artists out there is still continuing, by the way, folks.
It's a lot of them.
Well, a
But
lot
wait
of
till we
them.
get to
And
the 70s. There's way more.
I know. So it's going to be possibly be a part, let's see, a part 12, I guess. So in that case, there, I guess, coming up.
I don't know how long that's going to go, but it's going to go a while. We might
All
get
right.
into the 80s. No, we won't get that far.
Okay. Well, so it ended at the 70s, I guess. You said, right?
Yeah, in the 60s we'll cover tonight will be the remainder of the regular
The remi-
bands that I
yeah,
have, starting with
on your list
T's.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is in alphabetical order, folks. We've been doing this for the past couple episodes there. So and there's a lot of these groups up here that do need acknowledgement. That's one of the reasons why we're doing this program to let everybody know about this group, this band, this artist out there. Because there's so many out there that never really got any recognition there.
Yeah, and sometimes it's deserved no recognition, and sometimes it should have been recognized.
Yeah, they were recognized, but not as much in another
Right.
case. Right there. All right, so shall we begin, folks there, and start on with the continue with our list there?
Okay. First group I got is a group called the T-Bones.
The T Bones.
They actually did an instrumental that was called "No Matter What Shape Your Stomach's In,"
I remember
and
that.
and the interesting thing of that song is it became a Alka-Seltzer commercial.
Yeah, because my mom had that single there.
Yeah, but was a big and pretty much only hit by that group.
Wow, wow. Because remember I mentioned it many times that my mom had these massive collection of 45s, including the Supremes, Gene Vincent, many others, and that particular song, that single was included in one of them.
Yep.
I know. Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because, like I said, it was a commercial.
Yeah.
They
For
played it
Alka-Seltzer.
for Alka-Seltzer. Yes.
Yeah, and the fitting title of it as well. And I guess that came years after the song came out, I guess.
No, about the same time.
Oh, wow. And this was in the 60s era. I didn't know Alka-Seltzer was in the 1960s, but then again, a lot of shit came around in that
Oh yeah,
decade
they
that
were
we still
around.
know about. Oh,
In
wow.
fact, I think they were around in the 50s.
Because remember, my childhood was around the 1970s. I was about 8 or 9 years old, watching old Bugs Bunny cartoons and that.
Which
And
those
this is
came out in
around
the
the
30s
70s.
and 40s.
Yeah, I know, and exactly there. But of course, oh yeah, we can't include the Flints. Can't forget the Flintstones as well. I'm surprised nobody started canceling culturing them there, being that Fred was like considered a very manipulative individual that today's people would now consider him to be.
Well, one of these days they're going to get it to the point there's nothing worth watching. But
Exactly.
okay, then we won't watch it.
Okay.
If that's what they want, and nobody will watch anything.
But the thing is, these assholes out there, they want to make everything so correct for everybody else, and like they're trying to, and most likely the people who are bitching about Pepe Le Pew or being a sexual harasser are the ones who probably got that as a child or as a kid or as an adult. They figure, oh, this cartoon's advocated it. No bullshit. I've watched many Pepe Le Pew cartoons and never have I done that shit, okay? Because I knew it was not right, all right?
It doesn't advocate anything.
No, it was just a cartoon, this fictional story, and all these queef balls out there who just, everything's gotta be so perfect the way I want it to be. No, fuck you. As far as I'm concerned, people, it should be the way we want it to be. How
Yeah,
about that?
and there's going to be things that people aren't going to like. Hey, there's things I don't like, but I sure don't campaign against them.
exactly. Like I said, these are the people who've had something happen to them as in their childhood. There was something happened to them as either as a teenager or an adult, and they haven't got quite over it. You know, like all the people bitching about the one about the zero tolerance policies in high schools, and that were the ones who got bullied in high school, and they still haven't gotten over it yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh well.
Okay, so back
And
to our discussion there. I don't want to get straight off from our topic, because as soon as we started there.
okay, next one I got on my list is a guy by the name of Terry Stafford, another one-hit wonder.
Yeah.
He did a song called Suspicion, which actually was an old Presley song.
Mm.
He had a
Elvis Presley.
big
Wow.
hit, but in the '65 era, somewhere in there.
Oh, wow. And this was an Elvis Presley tune originally?
Yeah, it was Suspicion, not Suspicious Minds.
Yeah, I was going to say it was like a sequel or a continuation or a
No,
prequel to that Suspicious Nines.
no, it's just different with a similar title.
All right, because I never heard of that Suspicion before there. So
Well, if you
it
ever do
probably
look it up, look up the Terry Stafford version. It's actually
all
quite
right,
good.
all right.
Okay, next guy, I think he's British, but I don't remember mentioning Thunderclap Newman.
That's a new. Sounds like a name for a pro wrestler when you look at it there.
Yeah, what was the name of that song?
I don't know. It's
Oh
Thunderclap.
God.
Let me see if I can look them up for you.
Yeah, he had a big hit and it was a one-hit wonder. You would think that I'd know what it was because Tom
Uh,
Petty covered the song.
let's see here. Thunderclap Newman was a British rock band that Pete Townsend of the Who and Kit Lambert, their manager, formed in 1969 to in a bid to showcase the talents of John Speedy King, Jimmy McCullough, who would later go on to join Paul McCartney's Wings, and Andy Thunderclap Newman.
And did they mention the name of the song?
Let's see here. One called "Something in the Air"
That's it.
from yeah, something from '69.
Yeah, and like I said, Tom Petty covered it later.
Ah, I see there.
It's a great song, though. I
All
wish I
right,
could have remembered the title.
all right.
I knew the song, I couldn't remember the title.
They had album out called Hollywood Dream, three other singles which appeared on the album: Wild Country, The Reason, and Accidents. And from '69 to '71, the nucleus of the group remained the three guys that I mentioned. Pete Townsend was involved in it. He played bass guitar under an alias name on their albums and singles, which
Right.
of all he recorded and produced it at the at his home studio and the IBC studio. The band augmented its personal lineups during its tours with a couple other people backing up, including
You there?
Roger Fleece on drums. Yeah, I'm here. Yes.
Oh, you
Um,
went away for
the
a
ba-
second.
oh, right, I didn't know. The band broke up in 1971, but was resurrected by Andy Newman with a new group in 2010.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, listen to Something in the Air. It's a great song.
All right, definitely. I will definitely after this broadcast, definitely for sure, man.
Okay, next one I have is a group called the Tokens. Their famous song, The Lion Sleeps
Yeah.
Tonight.
Oh yeah, we know this, which I guess was popular. Definitely was used a lot, and I guess there was a. I forgot who covered it. I
Robert
remember seeing
John, I
the.
believe.
Okay,
I
the
think that was the guy's
Lion.
name. I think that was his name that had another big hit later on.
Okay, let's see here. A couple other covers there. They were. I remember there was a version on MTV that was covered there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Robert John. I think that was his name.
Let me see here. Let me look up covers here. Bum 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 bum. There's a cappella cover. There was the Tokens. Um, REM did their version. Let's see here. That's here because I forgot the version that was on MTV back in around. This
If
was
the guy's name
around
was
80.
Robert John, that's the one.
Okay, let's see. We here. Performer. Let's see. The Kingston Trio: Pete Seeger, Kitty White, Bobby Stevens, the Springfields, Johnny Mansingers, the Spinners, Arlo Guntry and Pete Seeger, Red Grammer. Let's see here. Let's see.
A lot of them.
Let's see. Yeah, a lot. And Lady Smith Black Mambazo featuring Taj Mahal. The Kronos Quartet, and that was back last year when they covered their version there.
Yeah.
Wow. Hugh Mascara, Glenn Campbell, Chris Barker, Chet Atkins with the Boston Pops Orchestra with Arthur Fiedler conducting, the
Wow.
Ando 2 Orchestra. Man, a lot of stuff there. Blue Champagne did it, United Guitar Players. Wow, interesting. A whole bunch of them. Bobby Stevens, Jimmy Rogers, who won, I think, with Roger Whittaker, Robert John, yep, in 1971.
Okay, it was
The
earlier than I
sound,
thought it was.
yeah, was a group called Fingernails, Brian Eno, the Stylistics, and Mary Shiner, the Elegance, Cindy, Tight Fit, Top of the Pops, Sound Sensation, the Nylons, Montezuma's Revenge in
Oh,
1989. I love that name there, right there.
man.
REM did it in 93. Steve Forbit, and a whole bunch of others.
Yeah.
Believe it or
Popular
not.
song, apparently.
I guess so there. And I no doubt that song must have been heavy rotation when The Lion King first came out in around, what was it, 94, I guess it
Yeah,
was?
they
The
probably,
animated version?
yeah, the two versions they probably played were the Tokens and Robert John.
Most likely, yeah.
Because Robert John is eerily similar to the Tokens.
Yeah, he had that high pitched voice in there. Do you remember the song, towards the end of that song, Sad Eyes from '79?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a good song, I will say, but that high pitch was like, wow, dude,
yeah,
how is the one dude able to have that high of a pitch?
yep. Yeah, I don't know. It's,
But then again, this was when it was about, I guess it was 13 or at that time, and keep in mind, this is before I discovered Rob Halford
right,
and Ian Gillan.
right.
Yeah, so it makes a lot of sense here.
Yeah. Next one I got's a duo.
Hmm.
Tommy Boyce and Bobby Hart. And they
Mm.
actually wrote a couple of the Monkees' early hits, and they had a
Uh-huh.
few of their own. One of them was "I Wonder What She's Doing Tonight," and then they did one called "Alice Long," which was "You're Still My
Mhm.
Favorite Girlfriend, Alice Long."
I see.
And then they did one called "Goodbye Baby," and had three relatively major hits.
All right.
Next one I got is Tommy Rowe. He
Mm.
was another bubblegum guy. His big one was "Dizzy."
Um,
Then I got a guy that was an interesting guy. He was kind of a, oh, I guess a Cajun type guy. Tony Joe White.
all right.
He did a song
I
called
think
"Poke Salad Annie."
I think I remember hearing that name long years back there.
Yeah, "Poke Salad Annie's is actually a pretty good song. It's interesting. It's
All right.
it's it's a variant. It's not like everything else, but it's a good song to listen to. Next one I got is a group called the Tradewinds, and they had a song called "Mind Excursion." That was a pretty decent song too.
All right.
After that was the Tremolos. They did a
Mhm.
version of "Silence is Golden," which was big for them.
All right.
Then you got Trini Lopez. I
I
don't.
heard that name many times. I've heard of that. He released a lot of records on the Reprise record label, the label that Frank Sinatra reportedly started there in the '60s.
Yeah, I think his biggest one was Lemon Tree.
I think I remember about that as well.
Yeah,
And he was a singer and a guitar player as well.
yes, he was.
I remember. It's all coming back to me, man. It is. I guess he was one of those very established artists, I guess you could say there.
Yeah. And then
Hmm.
we move into the U's. First one I got on my list is a group called the Uniques, which, if I'm not
Yep.
mistaken, that was Terry Pack's group.
Yeah, Terry Pack, which is and Terry Pack, as you know, was he was the manager for the Grand Funk Railroad.
Yeah, I think, wasn't he the one that kind of fleeced him, or
Yes,
was he?
yes, he was. I guess. Well, what it was between that and Grand Funk, he was involved in a group called Terry Pack and something there. I forgot its name.
Well, I think
Maybe
it
it
was
have
the
been the same.
Uniques, but I could be wrong.
Hmm. Let me look it up there. Terry Pack and the
Just look up Terry Pack. They should mention it.
okay there. Okay, okay. Let's see what we got here now. So far it's Terry Pack and what am I doing there here? Cedar, musician, son of a name goat. They got so many different versions of Terry Beck musician. That's
Beck.
what's coming up here. Yeah, that's what's coming up right now.
Well, it hadn't no Beck involved in that one.
Huh, I don't know why it's doing that. Let me try again here. Jazz albums. Terry Pack, who is the let's see here. Blah 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 blah. Terry Pack, who was a musical artist. He was a bass player. Johnny, and there's another Terry Pack on Facebook. His name, he plays with American singer Johnny Mars's band, who was Johnny Mars. You remember was the former guitarist of the Smiths. There, the post-modern band from Manchester, England.
Yeah.
I think. Hmm. Let's see, bass from 58 to 1976, Cambridge, UK. Grew up in London and Sussex. Let's see here. Wow, so many of them. And gosh, this is confusing because there's so many other Terry Packs out there. It's hard for Google to find which is which.
Well, I
Oh, wait a
was.
minute. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I just saw something here. I have to correct myself there. Instead of Terry Pack managing the Grand Funk Railroad, is Terry Knight
Terry
and the
Knight.
Pack. Yes.
Terry Knight in the Pack. Okay, that's where I got the Terry
Yeah.
Pack bit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I was thinking the same thing as well, because I remember the manager was had a Terry in his name, and yes, for the record, this guy did really screw Grand Funk over there.
Yeah.
But then again, a lot of managers at that time did that as well. They did it with Springsteen, they did it with Black Sabbath, they did a lot with other artists out there, because they were money hungry, I guess.
Yeah. And they couldn't make it on their own, so they used someone else.
Absolutely. And
Okay, the Uniques were a Louisiana band,
all
and
right,
their big song was "All These Things,"
yeah,
which I think actually Terry Knight and the Pack did.
yeah.
I believe.
And all started from my home state of Michigan, Flint, Michigan to be exact, in '65.
Yeah. Next one I got the Unit 4+2.
Unit 4+2.
Yeah, they had a one hit,
Oh,
which
wow.
was Concrete and Clay.
Interesting name. Interesting name there. Not many bands have that kind of a name there.
Well, basically,
Like a
from what I
code name, I
understand,
guess.
they started out as Unit 4, added a couple of
Mm.
guys, and rather than change their name, they just said Unit 4+2.
All right, interesting. Sounds pretty good there. I like that.
Yeah. Next one I got is Vanity Fair.
Mm. And
Their
not the magazine we're talking about.
no, their big one
No.
was a song called "Hitching a Ride,"
Yeah.
which if you heard it, you'd probably know it.
Yeah. And like I said a couple times before, this has nothing to do with the Boston song of the same name. That track is called Hitch a Ride.
Right. And
This is
it's not the
Hitching
same
a
song.
Ride.
You're absolutely correct.
Correct. Yeah, some people are going to start thinking, wait a minute, I thought this band had the same their title there. Not so, folks.
Nope. Different song
So,
entirely.
absolutely there.
But
That's but
it's a good song in its own right.
all right, all right.
And next what I got is actually I'm thinking it's might be the 70s, but I'm not sure. Maybe you can tell me.
Mhm. Yeah, all right.
Vicki Lawrence.
Oh yeah, definitely in the '70s. Remember, we all know the song she did and
Right.
was made famous, and what later became a movie. Started Christy McNichol in it,
Yeah.
and I guess also Mark Hamill from Star Wars.
Yeah. Night the lights went out in Georgia. Yeah,
Yeah, and
that
I
was the
guess
70s. I thought it was 60s, but it was 70s.
yeah, and if what I understand, it was also based on a true story.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Next one I got is the Vogues.
and also one more thing, I want to credit to Vicki Lawrence for making not her mark and just with that song, but also with the Carol Burnett show, and later on with the syndicated series Mama's Family
Oh yeah,
as
she
well.
was good in both of those.
Absolutely, everyone was good in the Carol Burnett show. Her, Carol Burnett herself, Harvey Korman, Tim Conway. They all four of those guys were the fucking bomb, man. Me, my dad, Michelle used to watch that program continuously.
And Lyle Wagner.
Yes, he's got to get credit as well because
Yeah.
he was good in that show just as well there, as well as his appearances on the Wonder Woman with Lyndon Carter.
Yeah. Next one I got is the Vogues. The song
Mm.
that most people are going to know is 5 O'Clock World, which for a while,
Oh,
and might have been the whole show, served as a theme for the Drew Carey show when he had his own sitcom.
oh wow,
Big song.
interesting.
They were one of those mellow type groups.
Wow, kind of like the band Bread.
Yeah, yeah. And next group I got's Wadsworth Mansion. Oh, what was their hit's name? What was their hit? Wadsworth Mansion.
Hmm.
They had a one hit too, and I'm trying to remember what it is, but
Wow.
it's not Love Grows Where My. Right.
Edison Lighthouse.
That was a
That's what.
different group.
That's yeah. Those are different. They're the ones who did "Love Grows Where My Rosemary Goes," which is a great song there.
Yeah. I want to think the Wadsworth Mansion did a cover of something,
Hmm.
and I'm trying to remember what the heck it was.
Yeah.
Let me. Sorry for no research.
It's okay there. Let's see. It was. Give me a description of the name here. Let me help you look it up there, man.
Oh, it's
Uh,
Sweet Mary, What's On Tonight?
Sweet Mary,
That was their song.
what's what's on tonight?
Yeah, that was their minor hit.
Wadsworth Mansion.
Yeah, Wadsworth Mansion.
Yeah, there we go.
A decent song, but it was
It
a
came
small
out in
hit.
1970. Yeah, and they're Sussex, England. That's where they're based from.
Yeah. And next one I got is the Walker Brothers, which I think we talked about a little bit before. And
I think so. Yeah.
they were a pretty strong group. They had two hits, and for the life of me, I can't remember the name of either one of them. Damn,
Wow.
I'm amazed that I'm having this kind of problem because I usually don't.
Oh wow. What's their name again?
The Walker Brothers. Oh, one of
The
them was The Sun Ain't
Walker.
Gonna Shine Anymore.
All right. Let me. I got them up right now here. Man, I'll open up these dang tabs here. American pop groups the 60s to 70s include Noel Scott, Engel, John Walker, and Gary Leeds.
Right,
They had songs like "The Sun Ain't Gonna Shine No More," "No
right.
Regrets," "Land Up a Thousand Dances."
Yeah, there's another one that
The- Yep, let's see here. And John Walker, I guess it was Scott and John Walker. John Walker from that group was diagnosed with liver cancer. He died of it in his LA home in 2011, and so we were very sad there. They had let's
they
see,
had
they had
another
the
fairly
other one,
major hit.
"Make
Now,
It Easy,"
Take It Easy
"Make
on
It Easy,"
Me. That's it.
or
Make It
"Make It
Easy.
Easy on Yourself." On yourself.
Yeah, that was it. The Sun Ain't Gonna
Yeah,
Shine Anymore. Make It Easy on Yourself were the big ones, and they're
yeah,
both great
that's right.
songs.
Yes.
I just couldn't think of the name of them.
When you told me it was "Take It Easy on Me," I was thinking the song of the by the Little River Band, "Years On."
Yeah, that no, it wasn't a different song. Make It
Different
Easy on
song.
Yourself.
Yeah, there we go. There.
And both of those are good songs.
All right.
Okay, next group I got on here is We Five,
We Five.
and their big hit was You Were on My Mind.
Oh wow, Lee Five. We Five.
Yeah, W.
That's interesting. Definitely We Five. It almost sounds like a boy band name when you think about it. There.
Yeah, but they had a female lead singer.
I see there because so many of there. I remember there was another group with a five in their name. Not just John Five, the guitar player from Michigan, who, by the way, who I remember seeing play with his old band Pepperland back at the original Ritz nightclub in Roseville, Michigan, back around 1988, 89, 90. I remember him there, and I'm also thought of another singing group called High Five, whose a couple of members passed away a couple of years back. They had a thing called the Kissing Game,
Oh,
but that was an R&B hit. So when I hear five and with relating to a music group, I'm thinking of those that I mentioned there.
oh, there's
Now
others.
included, yeah, it's true there. The Dave Clark Five, we know that. That's for
Yep,
sure. Who
Five
we mentioned a few
Americans.
times. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Next one I got's a guy by the name of Wilbert Harrison.
Mm.
His big song was Kansas City. Going to Kansas City.
Yeah,
Kansas
which the
City,
Beatles
here,
later,
yeah,
which the Beatles later covered in their earlier albums there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Next one I got
Hmm.
is the Woolies.
Oh, the Woolies.
Their big hit
Hmm.
was a song called Who Do You Love? It's been covered by lots of people.
George Thorogood and the Destroyers, and Bo Diddley as well.
Quicksilver Messenger Service. In fact, they did a 20
Absolutely.
plus minute version of it.
Oh, wow. Interesting there.
And then one of my favorite little known groups, the Youngbloods.
Oh, yeah. We know the
Their
song
big
they
one
did.
was Get Together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love that song. Personally, I think
Absolutely. And that came
one of
and
my
that came out
favorites.
in '68. I
Yep.
guess that was written. It was written as a response to all the turmoil throughout 1968 with all the anti-war riots and protests, as well as the assassinations of Robert Kennedy and Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah, in fact, a couple of groups I played in, we covered that song.
Yes,
It sounds difficult to play, but it's not.
yeah, very easy tune to play and a very easy song to listen to as well and to relate it as well.
Yep, yep. And last one I got, we've mentioned, but I wanted to kind of talk about them again a little bit. The
Yes.
Zombies.
Oh yeah, Rod Argent and the boys there,
Their biggies, of course, were She's Not There, Tell Her No, Just Out of
and of course,
Reach, and
yep,
Time of the Season.
yep.
But it kind of, their last album was oddly their most successful one, and it got released after they broke up,
Oh wow.
which was the album called Odyssey and Oracle with Time of the Season on it. But that
Yep.
also has that song that I've talked about a couple of times, Carousel
Hmm.
44, which they play
Ah.
the beginning little bit in a commercial. Belvita, I believe. Uh,
All right.
It's kind of like "Good morning to you. I hope you're feeling better," and they kind of play that. But if you sit and listen to the song, it's about a guy that's talking about his girlfriend coming home because she's been in prison, and that's
Wow.
what the song's about. But it's a good song. There's another one on
Yeah.
the album called. Go ahead.
Interesting there. Interesting. Now, we mentioned this before. Some these companies, these manufacturers, whether it's clothing or food or sports gear, they'll see a song that they hear a song that they see fitting for advertisement, despite the topic of the song itself.
Yeah.
Like for instance, two big examples we mentioned before. In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins.
Right.
That song was written about his divorce from his first wife, which I
Right.
understand was a very nasty divorce because all the love songs he wrote afterwards were filled with anger and angst and resentment. Like, do you care? Can't we talk about it in the morning and other shit like that.
Right.
Like it or not, you've done it this time. He carried it throughout his solo career and with Genesis as well. And years later, In the Air Tonight would not only be featured in Miami Vice, but also in a Michelob commercial.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, come on, man.
Yep.
And let's not also forget the year before, Revolution by the Beatles being used in a Nike commercial,
Yeah.
which I
Which in
understand, which was really set a lot of people off there. The people were throwing verbal jabs at Michael Jackson because a couple of years before a year before he bought up the rights to the Beatles songs. But then again, I remember hearing around that time it was apparently Yoko Ono who gave permission to use that song, to keep Lennon's legacy alive, I guess. But
Yeah,
the
which is
thing
kind of
was,
weird. That has nothing to do with shoes, and yet
exactly. But
I
I
don't know.
guess the idea is like Nike's a revolution. Let's have the Beatles back us up for it. But bullshit. It's a song where Lennon calling out the anti-war movement for using warlike antics such as violence and screaming, shouting to solve the Vietnam War. Just to
Yeah, it
have
was
end
kind
that.
of that was his whole point was the irony and all that.
Exactly. Why doing the same thing that you're fighting against?
Yeah. Okay.
Obi-Wan Kenobi said it best. You had become the very thing that you swore to destroy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what Lenin was trying to make in Revolution.
Yeah. And the last two songs I want to mention on that album was one
Yep.
called "Changes," which is really a decent song,
All
and
right.
then the other one is "Butcher's Tale," which is another anti-war song, which
Ah,
is a really strong song. You need to listen to it.
all right there. Butcher's Tale by who
The
the
Zombies.
Youngblood? The
Zombies.
Zombies. Definitely, I'll definitely check it out there.
It's um, a pretty strong
Intense there.
song. Yeah, it's intense.
Yeah.
It really is.
All right.
And let's see what that was it for the ones that I had for the
All right.
'60s.
Okay.
And then we were going to move on to the stuff eventually. I guess we can kind of start it. That became part of the '60s or the late '60s. That was the psych, early
Yeah.
prog, early metal,
Yeah.
underground.
Underground stuff there.
And first group I'm going to mention is going to go way off the beam on the west on the alphabet that we were doing. It's a group by
Yeah.
the name of the West Coast Pop Art Experimental Band. Yes, that's their name.
Hmm. Wow. I think I remember hearing that name a long time ago. I forgot which period it was, but I guess they were like experimental pop group, like the name suggested.
Yeah, they were considered part of the underground scene. Their
Ah,
song that is really a great song, got great little guitar, kind of some weird lyrics, is
all right.
called As the World Rises and Falls.
Ah, kind of like look at humanity its own self. We see humanity rise, but we see humanity destroys itself
Yeah,
in the end.
it's a song worth listening to, I think.
All right, yeah, definitely.
And the next one I got, kind of in that genre, is Stephen Stills did one album with Mike
Yes.
Bloomfield, Al Cooper, called Bloomfield Cooper Stills in the
Ah,
late '60s. That
oh wow.
I think side one was Bloomfield Cooper, and side two
Hmm.
was Cooper Stills. But there are some great songs in the album, and it's a really hard album. It's kind of a semi beginning of prog and hard metal.
Ah, I
It's
see.
it's got some it's got some good stuff in it.
Wow, interesting there. And from what I understand, Michael Bloomfield was considered at that time a good one of the premium guitar players around there, I guess, right?
Oh yeah, he was actually part of a group called the Electric Flag, which
Heard that name, yes.
their biggest song was Another Country,
Ah,
about 8 9 minutes, and it's progress. It's prog, but it was
yeah.
underground at the time because we hadn't gotten to prog.
All right. It'll be a couple years before we get to that, folks, there, I should say.
Yeah, and another group that was actually '60s group, but I kind of lumped them into the psychedelia because their songs kind of psychedelic. Is a group called Bubble Puppy. They had a song
I
called
heard
Hot Smoke and Sassafras.
I heard of that name somehow. I was looking forward to group Skinny Puppy on one of the digital jukeboxes when I was living in Richmond, Michigan. And it came up Bubble Puppy. I said, okay, this is interesting there. So when you mentioned that group, that's the first thing that came to my mind was that.
But yeah, it's a great song called Hot Smoke and Sassafras.
All right, interesting there.
Then you got The Crazy World of Arthur Brown.
Oh yeah, one of the premier shock prog rock artists out there. His song "Fire," the fire poem that starts before that track starts.
And before
I
that,
am the god.
Fanfare.
That's right. And of course, that's a piece fire. I am the god of hellfire. I bring you. That was later be sampled by Marilyn Manson on his first record.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of some early delving into psych for the most part.
More like also diving into the occult when you think about it there, because
Yeah,
when you listen to that fanfare fire poem there, it was like talking about being out of lying in the bluegrass, green grass I should say. Look at that the blue sky, and all of a sudden the flames start coming out. You're being descended into hell out of the blue.
yeah. And of course, Arthur Brown is famous for eventually being doing some stuff with Alan Parsons.
That's right. Later on, yes.
I think he did Telltale Heart.
Yeah, that's true. And I believe also one of his drummers in this group would later go on to be a part of Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Carl
Carl
Palmer
Palmer,
to
yeah.
be exact. Yes. And let's not forget this guy. I guess I guess he does shows nowadays. So I guess it may be with a different lineup. He's kind of baldy and on top, but he still has his hair, his goatee and stuff. But he still has that makeup and wild clothing he has at times. But let's also not forget he had that flaming helmet on the top of his head there.
Oh yeah, that was the big thing for him.
That was a surprise there, and I guess he probably had to put on some extra padding on his head before putting that on,
Oh,
so
I
the
would
heat
think so. Yeah,
wouldn't fry his scalp there.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Then let's see. Next one I got is a one album group. They did one album and that
Hmm.
was it. They didn't
All
really have
right.
any hits, but they were an underground group that did real well there.
All right.
And I mentioned to
All
you
right.
once before, Clear Light.
Yeah. Clear light.
They did a song called Mr. Blue that's about 6 minutes that kind of talks about Big Brother in a sense. It's a Big
All
Brother
right.
type song, and it is definitely worth listening to because it
All
it
right.
it gets not whatever the word is I'm looking for. I'm not even sure, so I won't try.
And this was a French rock group, right?
Not that I'm aware of. I think they were American.
All right, because the one I got here is a band out of France, formed in '73.
No, this group was late '60s.
Clear light, and it was one word or is it two words?
It should be two words.
Okay, I got you there.
Did you find
So
them?
one, two, three. I'm looking right now here. All right, there's 67 there. All right. American psychedelic rock band formed in LA, California in '66. Only one studio album. It was
Yep.
met with moderate national success before the group abruptly disbanded.
Yeah, because their lead singer was in some kind of movie. I forget what the deal was, but he
Hmm.
didn't want to be associated with that kind of band, so he just quit. And of course,
Oh
his
yeah,
career
let me
never
look it
went to
up.
nothing.
Oh yeah, let's see here. They had this song. They recorded one single, "Black Roses,"
Yeah,
and it was the band. And we're gonna see. There was Bob Seal, guitarist and vocalist, Robbie Robinson with rhythm guitar vocals, Dallas Taylor on drums, and didn't
that
Dallas Taylor
gnome will show
later?
up later.
Yeah, I was gonna say he was also involved with but Iron Butterfly, correct? Or no, no,
Actually,
no, 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 correct me. He was involved with Crosby, Stills, and
right.
Nash. Dallas Taylor was. My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Mhm. Yeah, it's good there. And the guy you're talking about, the singer, he was either Bob Seal or Robbie Robinson, if I'm correct.
I don't.
And
Those names.
the original line, and the original lead, Barry McGuire. That's the guy you're talking about, the singer. He was cast as their leader and the vocalist in the movie The President's Analyst.
Yeah, but he wasn't the guy that was on the album as their lead singer.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so he was cast in the movie only. There, that's about it. They later added Cliff DeYoung on the lead vocals,
That's the guy.
and this is, yep, that's him.
Cliff
And
DeYoung's
he's
the
the
guy
sing.
that dropped.
Yes, and this is the version of the band that was seen on that particular album cover.
Right.
Somehow during the recording progress, often described as brutal. Paul Rothschild, who was also producing The Doors, was not happy with Robbie Robinson's guitar playing skills and pressured the group to remove him. He was replaced by a keyboard player named Ralph Schuckett.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But if you get a chance, you need to listen to Black Roses.
Uh-huh.
They had another song on the album called Street Singer,
Hmm.
and then a third one called, well, the whole album's good, but they had a third one called Mr. Blue. I'm trying to get the ones that were,
All right.
and Mr. Blue is that kind of like Big Brother type thing where, you know,
Yes.
it's
I
it's a
think you
pretty
told me.
insane.
I think you told me about that one time. I think it was so many episodes ago.
Yeah, and when you listen to it, like I said, it's about 6 minutes a song, but you're gonna
Yeah.
love the guitars in it later. It starts out
Yeah.
kind of
In fact,
with
I did check it out. I see what you're talking about there.
yeah, and the guitars get really intense later on in that song.
Uh-huh.
That's the same thing with Street Singer. Those guitars are
Hmm.
really intense in that song.
All right. All right.
Some early hard
And Cliff
metal
DeYoung,
type.
as you mentioned, yes. Now let's see here. Now go the aftermath. And it says here it had the album, which was had also had a reworking of Black Roses, released as a single. Some of Bob Seale's psychedelic folk rock songs like "With All in Mind" and "They Who Have Nothing." It
Right.
had some success in England, but was largely ignored by the U.S., reaching number 126 on the Billboard album charts. Producer Paul Rothschild then pressured the other members to get rid of one of their members, Bob Seale, who was later was replaced by ex-Fug Danny, let's see, Cortage Mar. Now, Cliff DeYoung soon would follow after stating having started work on a second album. The group disbanded in 1968. Two tracks from the second sessions from the second album surfaced in 2006, being Darkness Today and What a Difference Love Makes. The
Yeah,
later show, the second single, showed the group moving into more commercial territory due to the influence of one of the other members, Danny Korchmar.
right, right.
Now, of course, Cliff DeYoung will later become an actor, appearing in more than 80 films and TV series. And sadly, he died in 2015 of complications from viral pneumonia and
Mm,
liver disease at 66.
wow.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that album is worth a listen. It's one of those
All
one-hit
right.
albums that it's definitely the whole album's worth a listen. But the songs I mentioned are in my mind, the best ones. Next one I got is Captain Beefheart.
Oh, yeah, we know this guy very well. He was a protege. He had that one. I guess he had a song in the early 60s that later hooked up with Frank Zappa, releasing a number of albums, including this one album called Trout Mask Replica, which is often
Yep.
considered a absolute cult classic because every instrument that they're playing on that record is its own self there.
Yeah. He's an interesting listen.
All right.
One of his big ones is a song called Diddy Wah Diddy. Not Do Wah Diddy. Diddy Wah Diddy.
All right. That's good. I remember, yes.
Next one I got's a group called Fever Tree.
All right.
And their big hit was San Francisco Girls. Although they had
Yes.
several pretty big hits, but San Francisco Girls, most people would know if you go out and find it. You
Absolutely.
listen to it and go, oh yeah, I know that song. Next one I got, oddly, is obscure, but they're not because they got probably 30 albums. It's a group called Hawkwind.
I
They,
heard of that group. Lemmy's old band prior to hooking up with Motorhead. Lemmy Kilmister was the bass player for this group, and this was considered one of the first space rock pioneer.
oh,
Pri-
absolutely.
that the concept was space. They had a lot of their songs like Silver Machine, the song Motorhead, and a whole bunch of others. They used to have this, girl come up with all this oddball makeup, looking like one of the Night Sisters from Star Wars, but she was mostly in the nude.
Yeah. And like I said, this group with various members put out
Yes.
something like 30 albums, I think. They put out a ton of records.
All right.
But yeah, if you want to listen to dreamy, spacey type music, there's your
Yes.
band.
Absolutely there.
And before we move on to anybody else, uh, I got one I got a list for that I want to go over that you may have heard of this group.
Yeah.
The Amboy Dukes.
Yes, I have. Ted
I,
Nugent's old
I was
band.
being
Yes.
facetious, but I figured,
Absolutely. Their version of "Baby Please Don't Go," "Journey to the Center of Your Mind." I had an 8-track of one of their albums, so I guess it's when Nugent was fronting the group. There, it was called "Survival of the Fittest." It was a live album.
yeah.
Mr. Jones' "Hanging Party" was a good song there. A lot of good stuff.
And
The Nuge really.
didn't that album have a live version of Migration?
I'm not too sure. It's been ages, but Nugent was he was one of the I guess you could say I guess it fits to say that Michigan rock bands around that time were a lot more hardened and
Yeah.
edgier at that time. So look like
Well,
them, the MC5, Iggy Pop and the Stooges, a couple others,
they were kind
you
of
know.
pre-metal, but not really metal.
Yeah,
Uh,
I remember Nugent even said in an interview while sort of Mick Jagger get on the singer rah 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 rah, their singer be like rah 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 rah, that kind of stuff there.
well, Nugent didn't actually sing much on the first
Yeah,
albums.
nope.
They
He
started
was just
out,
a guitar player.
yeah, they started out as the Amboy Dukes. Later on, they
Hmm.
became Ted Nugent and the Amboy Dukes, and then we
Yeah,
dropped the Amboy Dukes when he went solo.
yeah, absolutely. There, and Maytha started his long-running solo career, which in fact, later on hooked up with the damn Yankees, and then went back to a solo artist, and then also later became a prime political activist. For the
Yeah.
conservative crowd there.
Well, the songs I'm going to cover on this list are going to be Amboy Dukes.
Yep,
We'll get to Ted Nugent when we get to Ted Nugent.
absolutely.
My number 10
In the
by.
mean,
Go ahead.
no, yeah. And by the way, Kevin Hamilton and Bobby McMillan just messaged me back. I'm going to add these guys to the call. Okay, guys, ready? I'm going to add you guys. It's been a while since we added you. Let me repeat that. It's
Did
been a while since I've talked to you guys since that whole bullshit with Bullfrog last year. Definitely.
do they know what we're talking about?
I will let them know. They're
Okay.
listening right now.
Oh, okay, good, cool.
All
My
right,
number
there.
10 Amboy Dukes song is a song called Gimme Love.
Uh-huh.
Some of these you may not have heard, but they're all good songs. 9
All
is
right.
one called Loaded for Bear.
Nice.
8 is called, 8 is Baby Please Don't Go.
Oh yeah, classic there. That the guitar that the Nuge does on that there, awesome.
Yeah. And number,
Kevin, what's up, dude? Bobby, how's it going, guys?
Hey, can you hear me?
hello, yeah.
Loud and clear, guys. Guys, say hello to Arknolia Stroker Bean there.
Hey,
Hey, Strucklebean.
yeah.
We're hearing a lot about you.
Yeah,
It's
Well,
been a while though.
we've been doing a
has it been
lot. We
good?
did a lot more episodes with Arknolia than I did with YR and Bullfat there.
Bullfat.
Yes, I have no clue what's been going on with Bullfrog. Apparently, there's a lot of drama roasted up in the community here. We have
Oh
Dave
man.
Rose doing, a lot of live streams. I haven't been able to catch a lot of them, being that they're 4 hours long.
Yeah,
But
man, no, it's true. But I was listening to the one he did earlier today while I was out and about there, and definitely um we could definitely hang around, guys. So I'll give it a whole detail of why I will not work with Bullfrog ever again. There, definitely there. Okay,
Sounds
so
good.
okay, definitely, and it's a lot of good reasons. So other things we need to point up about this guy there. All right, so Ark, did you want to continue, dude?
Okay, number 7, I got the song that he did call with Art Amboy Dukes called Great White Buffalo,
Right,
which
so
he
I remember
did
that.
it
I
later
remember
on
the
the
first.
live album.
Yes, Double Live Gonzo.
Yeah. And number 6 is a song called Pony Express,
Yep.
which is a good song because it's talking about, well, the Pony Express.
Uh-huh.
And let's see, number 5, you're on this list somewhere.
Mm.
Oh, here we go. A song called Scottish Tea, which is a really neat instrumental.
Oh, I don't think I've heard that one there.
Well, like I said, these are Amboy Dukes. These aren't going to be
All right.
Nugent.
That's true, yeah.
Number 4 is a song called Hibernation, which also made it to the Double Live Gonzo.
Oh, yeah, that's nice there.
Number 3 is a song called Flight of the Bird, BYRD.
All right.
Number 2, I got Migration. Did he do that great on the Double Live Gonzo?
I know, I'm not too sure, yeah.
I'm not real sure on that one, but that's another instrumental.
All right.
And then number 1 is, of course, Journey to the Center of the Mind.
Oh, yeah, which, by the way, you remember the album cover for that of the same title had all these opium pipes, and Nugent to this day said he had nothing to do with that there. But then
Well, it's
again,
funny
that was the
'cause
trend. That was the trend at that time, you know?
Yeah, and it's funny because people were telling him about that song about it being a drug song. He says, "No, it's not. It's a song about consciousness." When he found out, no, it's a drug song, he was like,
Oh,
"What?"
crap.
And I don't think he ever plays it anymore.
I don't know. I guess he either refuses nowadays there. I know the Amboy Dukes, I guess, did a reunion show at the Detroit Music Awards a couple years back, from I remember there. And I
Wow.
guess one of the other members, I guess his name was Mark Fisher, died, I guess.
Yeah, I forget what the name of their lead singer was, but
I
uh, I think
think it may
Nugent
have,
kicked him out of the group
You
a
know, may
couple
he
times.
rest in peace. May he
yeah,
rest in
Yeah.
peace.
yeah. Okay, so if it's okay, Arknolia, we need tell Bobby and Kevin here the situation with bullfat there, or bullqueef as I often call him. As you know, you remember and remember him, Arknolia. You was watching when this whole bullshit went down last year on my channel when it was supposed to have been a part 2 of our discussion about all the other things like Area 51 and all that stuff there.
Right.
Yes, Bobby and Kevin came on as well. Foulmouth Ken from Foulmouth's Network came on. He had an issue to address with Bullfrog with some of the shit he said on his program the night before regarding one of the other guys on the call, Alex Payne from the Bahamas. He's saying Alex Payne, who's a 20-something-year-old snot-nosed kid there, Bullfrog was making these remarks like, I hope your mom dies of breast cancer. I hope your country gets hit by another hurricane. And Ken didn't really appreciate that because, his wife, Shannon, who guys know, had a bout with breast cancer previously before. So Ken wanted to address those issues with Bullfrog, also trying to call in on every program that there is out there, including, Joe Cronin's Five Mouths Network and Gatekeepers Drew Derailed show many times. And of course, Bullfrog was like in denial, said, I only called you about only once or twice and this and that. Bullfrog turned out to be a liar because multiple times I showed this to Ken and Joe Cronin. Bullfrog kind of constantly contacted me. Let's do a show there. Let me come on my channel. Let me come on your channel. Multiple times there. Tried to
Right.
call me a few times when I'm trying to do something on my OBS here out of the blue, or when I'm at my old job here. Now, while Bullfrog is being addressed of these issues, he is, denying it with top left and center there. Now, Bobby and Kevin here, they brought up something. They were told by Bullfrog, hey, little man, know your role and be quiet there. Know your place. This is grown-ups talk. And Bobby and Kevin are grown-ups. And
Yeah.
the only time you guys brought up something was with terms of Bullfrog picking his nose on front of the camera. But what did Bullfrog have to say? You're trolling me. He's being a troll and all this. Yes. No, he's not, Bullfrog. Yes, he is. And he was going on being disrespectful. And the big thing that pissed me off is that he was disrespectful to you guys.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I don't want to deal with the guy at all.
And you even said in my chat that night, if we start doing our show, he does not want Bullfrog around. And I kept that word. He's no longer allowed on my channel. And in terms of that, guys, Bullfrog has been known a few times, to sexually harass people in people's DMs on Twitter. Hey, let's get froggy, you and I. Quit your boyfriend and get with me, this and that. He's supposed to be bisexual. He has often said other perverted shit on the air to Joe Cronin. He's did that with Ken. He one time said on Ken's program when I was on, I would have played with Earl's sexy hair. I was like, fuck no, you fat fuck. It's not going to happen. It's like the guy has the mentality of a 5-year-old child. It's stuck in a 41-year-old body. And a couple times he always trying to be friends with another YouTuber named Tommy NC 2010, who you guys know. He's also come out making claims like everyone is trying to, I'm entitled to this. I could say what the fuck I want. And I don't need to raise my hand, to say something there. He'll talk over people, this and that, talk over donations. He does not know how to contain himself a lot of times. And as a result, Joe Cronin had to ban him from a couple of his programs. He's not allowed on my channel no more. He came And you can't get anything through to this guy's head. He will not listen.
Yeah.
And, but the thing is, and to make matters worse, he has he has said a couple of times, he's called a dude named Awandi the sand N-word bitch because Awandi was fucking with him on Skype. Now, I would never use the N-word on, yes, yeah, absolutely. I would never. Now, keep in mind, I would never use that word on the live air, on the stream, or no matter what.
No.
Absolutely, it's bogus. It's racist. I do not condone it, and he has done this many times. Now, there was a debate on Joe Cronin's throwdown after the first presidential debate. Was between Bullfrog and Dave Rose, as you know. Dave Rose won. And Bullfrog kept losing points because he kept talking out of turn or this and that. And he said something like, during that, said, haven't you guys, crazy fuckers, been in love with a family member? And we're like, oh, well, watching, like,
Whoa.
what? Yeah. I was
Oh
like,
my
are you?
God.
Yeah.
Now, Dr. Brown, I have a question. I've always sensed something off with Bullfrog now. Does he have some sort of mental disability? Or
I think he has,
is
yes.
he...
Yeah,
I
he's
think
just not divulging it.
Well, he is.
Because I was listening to Dave Rose's the stream there, and he said something along the lines of there is something wrong with Bullfrog, and he has
Absolutely.
something that he's hiding from most of the people here. And I feel like this is some concrete evidence that there's a couple screws loose to put it
There's
nicely.
no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. He is a mental condition. He is he's on SSI, public assistance. He's made a couple of time claims that he works from home. He worked for the government. He said that to another cat named Junebug, who I did shows with in the past. And I have recorded it on my phone here. It's a thing called the Grand Tribunal of Bullfrog. Now, that was on Dave Rose's channel. It's since it's been gone. Why, I don't know why. Bullfrog gets on the air. He starts, Junebug, don't ever call me ever again. Why are you a piece of shit? You're just an ass kisser, such and such. I don't sexually harass nobody. And then he comes up with these little claims like, you're on SSI too, Dave Rose, when Dave Rose isn't. He's living out on unemployment, but he was working for a nonprofit organization which since had to shut down because of the COVID-19 pandemic. But for Bullfrog, say all the things that he has said, he's even threatened to send a bomb to Dave Rose on that particular program. I mean, Bullfrog, he's mentally disabled. Obviously that. Now, he claimed he has this autism like Tommy and C has, like I have as well, but it's more than that. It's obviously more than that. He keeps threatening, and he can't fight his own battles. He always keeps saying, I'm going to send my brother to kick your ass. I'm going to send my brother. I'm going to call my lawyer. I'm going to press charges you for harassing me. He's going to on and on and on and on. And you also notice how he repeats the same thing over and over.
Yeah, I have noticed whenever you'd have a discussion with him, he'd just agree with whatever you said, and then he'd contradict whatever you said a couple sentences later.
Here's one more thing he did. He had a few bouts with a lady associated with Joe Cronin and JB Sports Radio named Michelle. She lives in Vancouver. She was one of the people that Bullfrog was sexually harassing on Twitter. Get your leap easy of your boyfriend, get froggy with me. And Shell went off on him a few times there. Now, on Joe Cronin's pre-corrupted show there on his channel there, they were able to convince Bullfrog to apologize to both JB and Shell, and things were, and that was about it. The next day, Bullfrog gets on the air, I think on his channel or somebody else's show there. I think it was YR's. On this, and he talks more trash about those two, JB and Shell. Joe Cronin confronts Bullfrog about it, and then all of a sudden, Bullfrog starts saying things like, why don't you make me a host of your wrestling program? And he said that the same shit to JB. Make me a host of your sports show there. The guy is desperate to be, he wants attention. He wants to be needed, but he hasn't proven anything that's worth needing.
Yeah, I don't know what is like. It's one thing to be a sidekick, but you got to be a good sidekick. You can't just agree
not.
and then say nothing and then get pissed off when people
When
call you
people
out for being
an idiot. And plus, here's one more thing there. I think I was going to, did I mention this? Son of a name go. But the thing is, Bullfrog has this tendency he wants to be needed. He wants to be accepted. He even came in the community saying that he's going to be the next Tommy NC 2010 there. Tommy NC 2010 cannot stand him. Now, me and Tommy used to beef a lot a couple of times, but since that we have patchings up, he had the gold fucking nerve to put his ugly head on top of his friend Crystal's body. And he comes up with this bullshit saying me and Tommy are together, and I called him out on it as well.
Yeah, I was able to get in contact with Bullfrog after he contacted me through Skype just about 2 weeks ago, and he invited me to join his Discord server.
Yeah.
And being the man I am, I thought it was nice. I didn't know about all the allegations against Bullfrog up until a couple days ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting in the Discord here, and there's a lot of channels here. Let me read them out to you.
Yes. Go ahead.
The channels go general, and then X Pictures Dirty Talking,
what?
Gay X Room with the eggplant and the drooling emoji.
Oh gosh.
Oh,
Politics is Hell Talk, and then Extreme Sports Talk, and then Candy Shop X Ladies XXX.
Huh?
Extreme Wrestling Talk, WWE/AEW, and the name is too long for me to see on my phone here.
Oh my gosh.
Favorite TV shows and movies, Gaming Talk, favorite rappers, artists, and then UFO Talk with a couple of alien emojis.
There we go.
Now here's the kicker here. You go to voice channels. It goes a My Lily Pad with the drooling emoji.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, dude, really?
And then Froggy Style Room with the drooling and the heart, and then Smackdown Hotel.
Smackdown Hotel.
Oh my gosh!
Is Bullfrog trying to have Discord sex?
I don't know. The guy obviously hasn't had any poons since. Obviously, the only poontang he's ever had was when he first popped out of by his mom. So he's obviously trying to get himself laid, but I'm sorry, he's not going to get any poontang the way he's acting, let alone the way he looks. I mean, the guy looks like a cracked up Uncle Fester.
Well, isn't his daughter his niece?
Well, that's the thing. He claimed. I know he had. There was a lot of confusion on that one episode of Monetize This, episode 255 there, and so there was a lot of confusion about that. So a lot of people are going to start, taking shots at him, trying to molest his niece and all that stuff. Bullfrog be like, "Let's knock that shit off, or I get my brother after you." It's like, you can't fight your own damn battles. Obviously, you can't. You just got to run to somebody else. Oh, a couple days after that episode that all of us did, where Bullfrog was talking to Smack, he gets on his channel and he says, claims that I had set him up by bringing Ken on that show. Ken called me.
I think we saw that one. At least I saw one of the Bullfrog ones. I remember I tried after that show. We watched a little bit of Bullfrog, and I tried saying, "Hey, let me clear the air, let me on," and he just ignored me and he shut me down.
Really?
Yeah, he was just like, stop calling me on Skype, stop messaging me on Skype.
Oh my gosh. And then he calls everybody else on Skype. He calls about how many times Ken and Joe Cronin there. Well, God knows.
And then, of course, because he doesn't have OBS, he never had OBS set up right. So yeah. I would message him on Skype and it'd mess the whole stream up because he's all doing everything off his phone.
Mm-hmm. And here's something else. He wanted me to take down that episode.